In this video, we will see about yet another set of two verbs, and that is borrow and lend. As usual, as this video is a continuation of the previous two videos that we have already seen, and if you are yet to watch them, we will give the link in the description and you can for sure go and watch and you can get to know about those terms as well. So, the same strategy is to be followed again with these two as well. First thing is we need to understand the meanings of these two verbs. So to know the meanings of these two verbs, it's very simple. Borrow simply refers to get an offer from another person, while lend simply refers to give. Okay? So the basic level of understanding that we all need to have is that the meaning of borrow is simply to get, while lending is simply to give. Okay, so this is a basic level of understanding that we all need to be having it before we start to understand or start to discover where and how to use. Okay, fine. So often we make mistakes in using these verbs or replacing this verb with yet another verb, and that is O. Okay, so usually we use O in places of borrow or lend. We need to understand that borrowing is actually to get something from someone, probably during the time that we are in need of, with a promise that we would return it to the person from whom we are getting. While lending here is the person, one who is offering as demanded by his well-wisher, probably during his requirement or her requirement. To make it more clear, I am using two friends A and friend A and friend B. Okay? So just imagine an instance where A and B are friends and Mr. A is in need of 5,000 rupees. Okay? So he is in need of 5,000 rupees. He is a he is a very known friend to Mr. B, and now what he is doing is, as he is already known to Mr. B, he is asking him if he can help Mr. A by giving 5,000 rupees. So this is going to be a loan that is about to be advanced by Mr. B to Mr. A. Okay? So if he is going to offer him this 5,000 rupees, he would give it, getting a promise from A that he would return it again. Okay? So this is a scenario that you need to take into account. Okay? So if this is the instance, here Mr. A, one who is about to get a loan from Mr. B, becomes the borrower. And the one who is going to offer the money as loan is going to become a lender. Okay, so this is the meaning, and this 5,000 rupees is the owing amount. Okay, we call it as the example sentence for the usage of owe is Mr. A owes 5,000 rupees to Mr. B, which means Mr. A is liable of paying a sum of 5,000 rupees to Mr. B, who happens to be the lender according to this situation. I guess things are clear for you. Fine. As we all are aware that we have basic three forms of verbs, V1, V2 and V3 form, which is also called as base, past and the participle forms in verbs. We need to be really memorizing all the verb forms for us to not commit mistake. And this statement has been, quite redundant. I'm saying this every time and again, right? So the V1 or the base form is the word itself. So for borrow is the base form or V1 form, while V2 is borrowed, and V3 is borrowed as well. You also need to be noting here at another point, and that is this verb belongs to the category of regular verb. I think you are aware of the difference between a regular and an irregular verb. The base form, when it is changed to V2 or V3 forms, here with the case of borrow, you need to just check that we only have a minor change over the spelling. We have an addition to the base word. if this is going to be the case, they are called as regular verbs. Whereas you have verbs like go, that's going to be completely changing with verb forms. If you consider the matter of go, when it is converted into V2 or the simple past or into participle form, we need to understand that they have a total change over their spellings. Like go, went and gone. Okay, so go is completely changing when it is taken or when it is considered in the other forms of verbs. So if that is going to be the case, those verbs are called as irregular verbs. Okay, fine. Let's come back to today's lecture. So the base form borrow, when it is changed to V2 and V3, it becomes borrowed. Okay, it's very simple. And coming to lend, the verb forms of lend is going to be lent, lent. So lent is the base form, lent and lent, both same, are going to be the past and the participle form. So these are the verb forms of these two verbs, borrow and lend. I hope that was clear. Now let's quickly look at a few example sentences. So the first thing that I would like to give to you is very simple. We are going to take the same in a situation that I have already shown you, drawing two figures here on board. Okay, so Mr. A dash 5,000 rupees from Mr. B. Just try to fill the blank. Alright, you got it right. So Mr. A borrowed, okay? Mr. A borrowed 5,000 rupees from Mr. B. The sentence is now in simple past tense, that's the V2 form. And if you wanted to change this sentence into a present perfect tense, that's so simple that you just need to add has. Okay? So that is how it is going to be. And let me give you another example for lend. Okay? I'm just going to interchange the participants of this example. So by means of changing or interchanging the participants, where Mr. A, the borrower, will be positioned back while Mr. B, who is at the back of the first example, comes to the front. Which means the borrower who is placed first will go to the last and the lender who is placed in the last will come to the beginning. Okay, so by that we are just interchanging and we are going to change the verb here. So with that, Mr. B is lender. So Mr. B lent 5,000 rupees to the from here is going to get is going to be changed to Mr. the borrower A. Okay, so a very small play that I made here is interchanging the places of the characters involved. So here in the first case, we have seen the example from the perspective of the borrower, while the second example is just an interchange of it where we have generated another example by interchanging the places of the participants starting from the perspective of a lender. Okay, so these are the examples by which you can very easily get to know about what these two verbs are meant for and how to use these two verbs. I hope that was clear, and I believe that you have now come out, or you have now got rid of all the confusion that you were having with borrow and lend. With this hope, we are concluding with this lecture with a belief that you have understood things, and even if you have not yet, do not worry and don't hesitate to use the comment section and comment your doubts and get them clarified. Meet you in yet another interesting video. All the best.